Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Vulcan Report. We're looking at crude oil futures right now, and the market managed to close at 91.49. So what we're expecting is for this trend to continue into Wednesday and into Thursday, and finish out the year above $90 a barrel. Price action on the close, the crude oil was up 49 cents, up 0.54% as prices closed higher than they opened, with strong bids going into the close. Now we do have an engulfing bullish line, and that's where the white candle's real body completely contains the previous black candle's real body, and the engulfing bullish pattern is bullish during a downtrend, and it signifies that the momentum may be shifting from the bears to the bulls. Now, if it occurs during an uptrend, which is the case here with with crude oil, it may be a last engulfing top, which indicates a top. So to test to see if this is the case, if the next candles close above the top of this current candle's real body, then we have a continuance of the bullish pattern. So crude oil needs to close above this 90.79 level on Wednesday, so that we can have hopes of a final rally on Thursday. Now, looking at market sentiment for crude oil, right now we have a pulse scan reading of 38.66. Now the market pulse is positive since it's trading above the zero signal line. The pulse scan crossed above the swing VIX, creating an uptrend channel as of 3 periods ago. The swing VIX is above 29. This is usually where it forms resistance, and the swing VIX usually forms resistance before the underlying security. Now, since the last swing VIX signal, crude oil has increased in price 1.12%, and it's ranged from a high of $91.88 a barrel to a low of $89.85 a barrel. Currently, the trend is very bullish, as this security is under heavy accumulation, and the trend strength reading also remains strong. Now, taking a look at our price projections for the month, we have a 12 to 18 month price target of $119.52 a barrel, all things being equal. If this trend continues, that is the price target for the next 12 to 18 months. Okay, our current trend line resistance is at $91.88 a barrel, and our trend line support is at $78.06 per barrel. Now, looking at volatility, we do have a situation where we close below the upper band by 8.3%. So this, combined with the steep uptrend, suggests that this price pattern has a good chance of continuing, even though we may experience a short-term pullback into the first and second support lines. First support is at $89.35. Second support is at $86.08. If we get into the Kumo cloud consolidation, which is here, this is the Kumo consolidation cloud on a significant pullback, that would give us a trading range of $80.69 and a top of $84.14. So we could retreat back into the price, into the consolidation cloud there. If we do, it's still in a bullish pattern, and we still have a lot of price momentum on our side. And we would suspect that if within that pullback, we will get more buyers, as this commodity is going to continue to be accumulated, regardless of what you see or hear in the news overseas and whatever wars or rumors of wars. The bottom line is the trend is going to continue. So that's where we are with the crude oil. I'm in now. All right, the next video we're looking at is Chipotle, ticker symbol CMG. All right, right now on the Chipotle, you can see that we closed down $2.69, down 1.21% as prices closed lower than they opened, with weak bids going into the close. Now we have 3 black candles which occurred in the last 3 days. Now, although these candles were not big enough to create 3 black crows, the steady downward pattern remains bearish as we head into the Kumo cloud. And you've heard us talk about that before. It's very significant when you get into this consolidation phase. It could exist for an extended period of time, sometimes several weeks. I've even seen it go as long as 2 months, especially when we're talking about commodity futures. All right, let's look at these ranges. You have support now at $201.43, and you have your resistance at $220.66. This will be the trading range if we sink deeper into the Kumo cloud, okay? That's what we're going to have to watch. Overhead resistance as of right now. First resistance is at 229.71. Second resistance is at 240.90. So that's where we are on the Chipotle. And it looks like the downward momentum is building. We may even crash below the Kumo cloud and test trendline support altogether. That would be a scary thought, as trendline support is around, I think, 173.94. Here. Yep, 173.94. Okay, that is the trendline support. So, with that said, if you are long Chipotle, you should have already been out of Chipotle. As you saw the last pulse wave that we got, for those of you in the Black Ops trading room, you already know that the last pulse wave occurred on November the 23rd. You should have been stopped out of that pulse wave already, no later than the week of December the 1st into December the 3rd. So you should have, you Black Ops guys should have been out this week at the latest. All right. So if you're still long the Chipotle, you really do need to think about liquidating at this point and thinking about another strategy. And you need to stick with the system and do what the system says to do. You did have some intraday trading opportunities here, and you even had some here, but as we got into this week here, there are really no trading opportunities as we've been liquidating all week. All right, finishing up our wrapping up our analysis on the Chipotle. We are in a the market pulse is negative since it's trading below the zero signal line. The pulse scan crossed below the swing VIX, creating this downtrend channel as of one period ago, which was here. And we also have a positive bot check feedback coming, all right, which confirms negative momentum or additional selling pressure that we can look forward to in the Chipotle going forward. All right, so we need to be careful. All right, now as far as the overall momentum readings, currently the trend is slightly bullish, okay? And as for trend strength, it remains weak and range bound, okay? Prices have ceased trending and have become consolidated at this time. The market has put in a short-term top, and that means that the bulls are liquidating long positions, thus taking some profit off of the table. Let's look at our price projections. All right, going forward, our 12 to 18 month price target, if the bullish trend can remain intact, is $440.43. Okay, our current trend line resistance is at $262.77, and trend line support is at $173.94. And wrapping up, looking at volatility, Chipotle closed above the lower band by 10.4%. This combined with the steep downward trend suggests that prices have a good chance of continuing to go lower, and we could even experience a short-term pullback, perhaps inside of the first and second resistance area on our way down further into the Kumo cloud. All right, and that's all we have on the Chipotle. All right, taking a look now at the NASDAQ 100. This would be the E-mini NASDAQ futures. And right now we have a situation where we close down 2.44 So just down slightly lower than 2 points, down 0.11%. Its prices closed lower than they opened, with weak bids going into the close. However, we have a pulse scan reading of 38.98. The market pulse is positive since it's trading above its zero signal line, but the pulse scan crossed below the swing VIX, creating a downtrend channel as of 2 periods ago. However, the swing VIX just crossed below 39 from a topping formation. This is a bearish sign. All right. Now, remember that the indicators lead the market 3 to 5 days out. Okay, these are leading indicators, not lagging indicators. All right, these aren't moving averages. So when we get these negative bot checks back, and you've seen we've had several of them on the way up. Okay, that means that there is some underlying selling pressure entering into this market, which means we could be putting in a short-term top. All right, so we need to be careful of that going forward, looking at long positions. All right, looking at the momentum, currently the trend is still very bullish, and equities have been under heavy accumulation, and the trend strength reading remains strong. Okay, we're still in a bullish trend, still intact, nothing has happened yet. But moving over to our price projections, we do see that our 12 to 18 month price target, with all things being equal, and the uptrend being able to continue, we have a price target of 2777.79 on the NASDAQ 100 futures, and our long-term trendline resistance is currently at 2238.91, and our long-term trendline support is currently at 1969.48. Now, I want to put these price projections out here for our bubble phase. We understand what's happening in the economy with the Federal Reserve continuing to print money and hyperinflation creeping into the economy, things like that. All things being equal, if this uptrend can remain intact, all right, we have our first bubble phase target, our 24 to 36 month price target on the NASDAQ is 3316.67. If we can get to a phase 2, that will put us at 3855.55. And phase 3, which is even more rare than phase 2, is 4394.43. So even if by some unforeseen circumstance or miracle we get to bubble phase 3, that still will not put the NASDAQ back at its all-time highs of 5,000. All right. So in other words, regardless of how the market's moving, the bubble phase 1 is tough enough to reach, but bubble phase 2 and 3 almost never happen. All right, you can point to this less than a handful of times that they've reached. So what I'm saying is, even in a hyperinflation scenario, we play around with things, and we say, Dow 40,000, tongue in cheek. But the bottom line is, we gotta stick to the real here and look at the technicals, and look at the charts, and look at the price action. And to be quite honest with you, that is the target we have for the NASDAQ. Okay, let's finish off this report with looking at the Dow actually, and you can see we got negative bot checks coming in the Dow as well. Now let's take a look at this. Now we did close up 20 points at up 0.18% with stronger bids going into the close, but we do have an engulfing bullish pattern. All right, now during an uptrend, which appears to be the case we've been going through here with equities, it may be a last engulfing top, which indicates a top in the market. To test to see if this is the case, if the next candle closes below the top of the current candle's real body, then we know we have a top. Okay. Looking at the swing VIX, we have a reading of 44.53. That is an overbought scenario, meaning that the market is due to collapse within the next 3 to 5 days. So we'll see if price action will catch up to the indicator. And as far as the bubble phase readings I want to give you, they're nowhere near Dow 40,000. We top out at bubble phase 3 at Dow 19,498.36. Remember, take what you can, give nothing.